This year marks the 25th anniversary of Earth Day, which is celebrated on April 22nd each year. Earth Day was created to raise awareness about environmental issues and inspire actions to protect the planet. As we prepare to celebrate Earth Day, we have a truly special guest that I would like to welcome to Cura Conversations, Tales of Hospitality Excellence. Chef Dave Ladermann is the executive chef at the Holy Redeemer Hospital in Meadowbrook, Pennsylvania, and comes to us with over 30 years of culinary experience. Chef Dave is a certified executive chef and the current president of the Philadelphia chapter of the American Culinary Federation. He will share his efforts on reducing food waste in his organization. Welcome, Chef Dave. Let's start by having you tell us a little bit about yourself and your role with Cura Hospitality.
My name is David Ladermann. I'm the executive chef at Holy Redeemer Hospital in Meadowbrook, Pennsylvania. I've been here for about 2.5 years. I love what I do here because we have a hospital and we have a senior living care facility attached to it. It is wonderful to walk through the dining rooms and see our clientele and see how happy they are eating our food. Walking through the kitchens, seeing the teams happy doing what they're doing, learning and educating themselves in the process of great food, while also keeping in mind cost effectiveness and making sure we're meeting the requirements of our clients. And I mean, I love being part of a smaller organization. I did work for the big three, the other big three, and I love working for a smaller company because we're a little more personable. When the DMs and the marketing people come in and they're very receptive to what we do and how we do it, and they give suggestions, not say this is what the plan is going to be and this is how it's going to happen. It's very enlightening to see everybody come in, and they're very welcoming when they come into our kitchen, and they're always complimentary of what we do.
Awesome. And thank you for sharing that.
Yep.
So, one of the things and events we like to celebrate, at Cura is Earth Day, which is in April. And one of the programs, that really highlights the importance of that is our Waste Nothing program. So could you tell us a little bit about how this program works?
Our Waste Nothing program is very intricate. We have a lot of facets of our area. We have a retail area, we have our senior living area, and we also have our dining room area, or our main kitchen. So we have many different areas that we collect waste from. Our objective is to utilize in production the exact amount that we need to produce for our clients, so we're not having that overabundance of waste. But when we do have waste, there are ways to incorporate. Say we have, as an example, we grill too many chickens for the night meal. Those night chickens will be cooled down properly in the walk-in. We'll utilize that stuff to make chicken salad, which will go back up to the retail and make dollars. We utilize what we can, or they'll go into soups for the chicken noodle soup for the next day. And it's not like it's 10 or 15 pieces. There might be 3 pieces. It's nothing exorbitant. One thing we also try to do is if we have fresh cut oranges, we'll take the skins from the fresh cut oranges, make them into a sauce, make it into our orange sauce for our Asian chicken station. We'll reduce that down, add some sugar, so on and so forth, and make that some soy sauce and make that into an Asian sauce, utilizing the pieces that we would normally throw into the trash. We look at everything. We try to, our production is key in that, making sure that we're producing, not overproducing, but producing exactly what we need. We track week to week, month to month, how many, and the entire team knows how many they're producing. So they can come back and say, hey, we produced an extra 30 of these. Is that right? And then we say, hey, the anomalies happen where they didn't like the meatballs that night or whatever it is, and we make adjustments based on that.
That's great. And it sounds like, you really have some great programs and processes in place to look at your waste and make sure you don't have an abundance of it. So did you have to make any changes to any of your, to help reduce your waste, or did you already have those in place?
No, we had them in place. There was a lot of things that were happening here at Holy Redeemer that were really good prior to me coming, so I just enhanced them and educated the staff on how they can be better, watching what they're serving, how much they're putting on the plate, so on and so forth. And just the one of my major things is if the resident is coming in and say they're in a hospital and we're serving Asian chicken with over rice with carrots, and that's within their diet parameters, we make sure that meal looks great going upstairs, because we don't know if it could be one of their last or their last. They might not even be able to get that meal. So we want to make sure that they're getting the best meal we possibly can give to them.
Awesome. So we talked, a little bit about your site, but what can people do at home to help reduce the waste that they have?
Well, as an example, chicken's a universal item. I eat a lot of chicken at home. And what we do is we kind of meal prep throughout the week. Sunday afternoon, we meal prep our chicken for the week, and we just eat, one day we'll just have grilled chicken. Next day we'll have chicken salad. Next day we'll have salads with chicken on it, and we'll utilize whatever's in that fridge. So another example that we do is we'll buy dressings. There is no set dressing to marinate our chicken. Whatever's in the fridge is we dump over the top of the chicken and we grill it. So we try to utilize as much as we possibly can, and we get 4, 5, 6 meals out of it. And being cognizant of that is helping the home food budget, in addition to here at Holy Redeemer.
Awesome. And you talked about a little bit about food scraps and how you're using them, at Holy Redeemer. Do you have any other creative chefy ways that people could use food scraps at their house?
There is composting programs. You can, over time, it does take a little bit of work setting up systems like that at home. Utilizing your scraps, utilizing your potato peels from mashed potatoes if you're doing that on a weekend, using your coffee grounds, which is great. At one point in time, over the last, say, 5 or 10 years, I actually started to do that, and then I said I don't have time to sit there and tend to the garden, because I was doing other things in my career, so I couldn't. You get 5 tomato plants and you get 55 tomatoes, and what do I do with 55 tomatoes? At some point in time, the neighbors said I can't deal with any more tomatoes. So I've kind of gotten away from doing that, saving that much. But when I'm cooking at home, we'll utilize every piece. We'll do a lot of roasted vegetables, because then you can, make them into soup at the end of the week or whatever. And my mother-in-law loves soup, so we utilize as much as we possibly can.
And that's a great idea. Using your vegetables that are on their way out for soups is a great way to,
Yep.
not get those into the landfill, but also, make something delicious out of them.
Yep.
So, you just said something. You said, because you had other things going on in your career, and one of those things is you're an active member of the American Culinary Federation. So can you tell us a little bit about this organization and your involvement in it?
So American Culinary Federation is a national organization that's based out of Florida. It's been around for believe 100 years. We're all chefs. So we're all at different levels and different categories of being a chef, all the way from cook all the way up to master chef. And we do monthly meetings here in Philadelphia. I've been involved in the local chefs association for the past 25 years, at different capacities, education chair. I've been treasurer. I was secretary. I am currently the president in my second term here in Philadelphia. We do 10 meetings a year. We do different education. This coming year, we're doing a education symposium here in Philadelphia. We're trying to get the East Coast all the way from Delaware and Baltimore and so on and so forth, all the way up to Maine to come down to this education symposium. And it's very enlightening to see all these chefs and all these guys that are really working hard out there. They take a day and they come learn something. Be around other chefs, and there's a different language when you're talking to a chef. And when you do that, and one of my main things as being a chef is just being able to help and educate other chefs in different processes, and help them. You're not just a guy on the line cooking all the time. You are the leader of your kitchen, no matter if you're a cook or you're the executive chef. And we all have our different roles within that, and educating those people and enlightening those people and say, hey, you don't have to always be the guy that's on the line doing the grunt work, grilling the chicken every week. You could educate other people to do that, and that opportunity is really prevalent here in Philadelphia. We have about 9 to 11 culinary schools in the Philadelphia area. We have 100. So in Philadelphia, we have 150 members of the American Culinary Federation, and of those members, a good portion, about 30 of those members, sit on OAC boards with these local culinary schools. So we're not just trying to help us, do community service work. We're also trying to bring up the next generation of chefs, so people can take our jobs at some point in time. Last evening we did a presidential awards and scholarship dinner last night, and we gave out 7 scholarships in the Philadelphia area, and then also gave out some awards to some chefs that have been in the area for a while and helping the ACF here in Philadelphia grow and be better. And it's a partnership between everyone, employers, vendors, and communicating with those people and making us ACF. It's very passionate for me. Being the president is like, you got to poke me and say, hey, you're the president of ACF Philadelphia. What are you doing? So it's really enlightening, and making sure, it's enjoyable for me to do that, serve other people in a capacity to make sure that they know they could be in my spot 10 years, 15, 20 years from now, doing what I'm doing now. Whenever I get on a call with other chefs, within Cura, within the other big 3 companies, I'm always promoting ACF, because I think there's value to the small account, that might not have, a chef and a director and so on and so forth. But I think there's value to that chef to learn a little bit more about the food business and be able to go forward in their career. Maybe at some point in time he wants to run a bigger account. Maybe he's just starting off and doesn't know, and just wants to learn that. So there's chefs out there that have done that kind of stuff, and they can help them and mentor them. One other thing I also did this past year, there's a certification committee within ACF. And there's different levels. There's about 8 or 9 different levels, everywhere from certified cooks all the way up to certified master chefs. I actually did my certified executive chef exam this past year, and I passed, which is about 20 years of hard work, because I kept saying, "Oh, I'll get it done. I'll get it done. I'll get it done." And then all of a sudden, I'm like, I have no choice. I got to get it done. And the excitement of finishing all that and getting all that paperwork together. And it's not just, filling out a paperwork. And literally, you have to take a written exam, 100-question written exam. Also taking into account your skill set and taking a practical exam with time parameters and menus and so on and so forth. And you literally have to do the nutritionals and all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of parameters involved. And if people can take the time in their schedules to get themselves certified, it helps across the board, to be an executive chef. And you're looked at differently because, when you add a couple letters behind your name, and, it really adds value to you as a chef in the industry.
Awesome, and congratulations on obtaining your certified executive chef credentials. I know a little bit about the exam and what it takes to get that, and it is not easy. So, really it's a lot of work that goes into it. So great job with that. And also, thank you for not only, being the president of, the Philadelphia chapter and sharing the best practices and knowledge, but also, helping to mentor the next line of culinarians that we have coming up through the ranks, because we know sometimes getting that mentorship and informal education is not easy. So it's great to see and hear what you all are doing to help promote that. So, just thank you for everything you're doing to give back to the field.
Thank you.
No problem. As we're, looking to wrap up, is there anything else you want to share that I neglected to ask?
No, I think it's, I'm very proud to be a part of Cura. I think Cura's got, we're poised to be growing in the right direction. And I think we got some great people with some great vision moving this company forward.
Awesome. Well, thank you again, Chef Dave, for your time. And, you were great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us on today's episode of Cura Conversations, Tales of Hospitality Excellence. And a big thank you to Chef Dave for joining me today and sharing his expertise. We hope you found our discussion on reducing food waste insightful and engaging.
Since 1996, Cura has specialized in serving life plan communities, behavioral health, and acute care facilities. Cura creates dining service programs specific to each client's needs, taking the worry of guest safety and satisfaction, employee development, and operational and fiscal challenges off our clients' plates. As our clients' needs evolve, so do we. We are a company of experienced dining service professionals that is part of Elior North America. Together, we are small enough to care and big enough to make a difference. Thank you for listening to Cura Conversations, Tales of Hospitality Excellence, and we hope you will visit us at curahospitality.com to learn more about how we nurture well-being with every meal we serve.